Hey guys, Nick here, and welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and part one of two to next Scream What If. What if Billy Loomis survived? Last time we did Stu, now it's only fair we tackle Billy in two parts this time. So, pretty much besides the Casey and Tatum ones, another kind of series slash mini series. So, before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick, and make sure to acknowledge and support the future of the Omniverse by checking out the Google Docs, Patreon, and Discord on the homepage, as well as commenting future requests and expectations for this year. So let's get started. As I said, we're tackling Billy Loomis here. And I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions about this picture for the, opening and why it's two parts, but we'll get there. Now, for those who don't know, Billy Loomis was Scream 1's villain, killer, pretty much, along with Stu Macher. And he was the sometime girlfriend of Sidney Prescott. But they also killed the mom of Sidney, Maureen, and for Scream fans, you get the point. And they were thwarted and killed by Sidney alone, with side help, more or less. And then Mrs. Loomis would try to get revenge for her son, but would die. Then in Scream 3, we would figure out that Roman, he actually put the idea into Billy and Stu's head to go ahead and kill Maureen because of Billy's trauma and Stu being a backup dancer, pretty much. And, Roman wanting to get back at Sidney Maureen and all that crap. Then we would see him come back, yet not in the way you would expect. We would find out in Scream 5 that Billy actually had a kid, and that would be Samantha Carpenter, and hallucinations of her dead father would get to her in Scream 5. When we get introduced to her, we would get revealed that she's the daughter, and then she would tackle into that killer persona. And then Scream 6, the exact same thing, except dialed down with Billy Loomis a tiny little bit. So, where specifically do we get to see Billy Loomis come back? Or how does he come back? And why is it that your picture revolves and that the plot is going to be for Scream 5? Well, I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions about this. Those who don't know about Scream, don't know enough about Scream, haven't really kept tabs on it, but just roll with it. It will be much more clearly understood once we get into it. That's why it's two parts, at least. So, let's get started. We open up with Scream 5 playing the exact same way, with Tara getting into the hospital and everything. And then we cut to Sam with Richie, and they're at the gas station. And they go off, hear about what happened to Tara, and go on their way to Woodsboro. But when they leave, a ghost face pops around a corner. And it seems like this ghost face, he isn't interested. It's not obviously Amber, and it's not Richie, obviously. This ghost face seems like he's on a mission, and it's not to kill, but he definitely has something planned. So, without anyone knowing, without Sam or Richie knowing, he follows them. And once Dewey comes into the picture, and we see his confrontation, which would be his final confrontation with Ghostface, unless Scream 7 brings him back to life, with Ghostface in the hospital. And after his death, the Ghostface is back again, right before the cops, paramedics, and everyone comes. And he unmasks himself to be Billy Loomis. He looks down at Dewey, thinking of when he last encountered him at the house, how he almost killed him, and that these ghost faces, whoever they are, clearly Dewey either got soft or these ghost faces are making him look like a joke. And he knows now that he's not only here to find his daughter, he's here on a mission. So he continues to stalk everybody without any of them knowing, waiting for the right opportunity. Then we cut to Sydney at the house at the end of Scream 5. Amber and Richie have made themselves known as the killers and have gotten the group basically on a hold. Amber is pretty much dead. Richie has Sam on the ground. But when Richie asks Sam what does she mean whenever she says she's introducing a new role, before Sam can say her never F with the daughter of a serial killer, someone else says the exact same sentence. So either it would come out of her mouth, but it would be more manly, or just a man's voice would just come out of nowhere. And this would be like a Lion King moment when Simba roared. Richie hears this, but it's too late. Billy Loomis comes out of nowhere and does what Sam did to him, but even worse. Because it's Billy frickin' Loomis. And afterwards, Billy just looks down at the dying Richie and says, "You made a big mistake, kid. There's only room for one ghost face, and that's me. Unfortunately for you, you not only messed with the wrong girl, you messed with the wrong family." And he shoots Richie down. Afterwards, he just still points the gun with a voice box and just taunts the dead Richie and says, "Oh, what's the matter? You look like you've seen a ghost," or would come up with some snarky remark. Then Sam and Billy Loomis look at each other, and Samantha cannot believe her eyes. Is she hallucinating again? But no, Billy Loomis says he's real. More real than any hallucination she's ever had. And he smiles and says he knew that he would find her. He knew she was out there. He just wanted to wait for the right opportunity to let her know and everyone know Billy Loomis never died. But before he can explain and Samantha try to pick up a gun or a knife or even question her father, Sydney and Gail step into the room after dealing with Amber. And the four have a confrontation. Gail and Sydney instantly point guns, and Billy just looks at them menacingly with a smug smirk on his face. Says, "Long time no see, Sydney." Gail. And Sam doesn't know whether to let them shoot or to tell them to stop. But before anyone could do anything, Amber comes back for a second round when she's shot and killed by Tara, who now has another gun. And Sydney, she's the first to speak. She asks Billy, how is this remotely close to possible? She knows that every Ghostface comes back for one last scare, ever since Randy said it right here. But she knows that she shot him. That this is impossible. How in the world is Billy still alive? Billy says he doesn't know either. Maybe Sydney just didn't feel like double tapping. Because in this world, Billy wasn't shot in the head. Sydney just shot at him a few additional times. I forgot to mention that, didn't I? But Billy says, "You might have double tapped, but it seems to me Randy forgot another role. Triple tap when you're dealing with the ultimate serial killer. And really, you should be thanking me, Sydney. After all, I saved your life as well as my daughter's. And I'm not here for you or Gail." And then he looks at Sam right in front of him and says he's here for her. And also, his condolences. And Gale instantly knows why he's saying this and points the gun and says, "How do you know about Dewey? Did you plan this?" But Billy says no. If he was going to kill Dewey, he would have done that when they first met. He was just following his daughter, waiting all these years for the right opportunity ever since he got out of this house. He couldn't come back to them. No. He decided to bide his time. But he didn't think it would be this long. He didn't think that his daughter would emerge from wherever she had been. And she didn't expect this house to be the place he returned at. But if he was going to kill Dewey, him and Gale would have died in this house all those years ago. But still, his condolences. It's a shame that Dewey couldn't be here to see him alive today. Then he looks at his daughter, who's now pointing a gun, and says, "You know, Sam, these people, I used to know them. Sydney, we used to be together. Gale, she's just a person who got in the way, a snarky reporter. You could be with them, but why be them when you can be who you truly are?" And then the tone gets serious and Billy says to Sam, "You know who you are. You know who you're destined to be. A cold-blooded, Billy Loomis, royal bloodline killer. You know it's in your blood. You know that if I hadn't stepped in, you would have done the exact same thing to your little hubby, Richie. You know it's to be true. That's why I came back. To bring you back. These people, I'm no longer interested. You don't have to kill them. It doesn't have to be about brutal murder. You just have to murder the right people. I'm done worrying about Sydney. All of what you heard about me, was said about me, what was reported about me, that's over now. We could start a new chapter. Search your feelings, Sam. You know it to be true. Be with your family. Be with me. It's what you should do." But Sam thinks about what has been said, reported, heard about her father, about Stu, all those killings. And then she thinks about the hallucinations and all of that boiling to what was almost about to happen. Billy just looks at her and says, "You know I'm right. You know that it's part of your legacy. You know that it's where you belong." But Sam says no. She didn't want to be brutal. She didn't want to have to come back here. She didn't want to almost have to be put in the situation to kill Richie. And she for sure wasn't expecting, just like her father here, to have to come back here to Woodsboro. But she's here. And her father coming back, maybe that was a sign that Billy is right. Maybe this is her legacy. But she's still trying to work on her own chapter. And if any part of her wanted to be in that brutalized bloodline legacy of hers, she would have chose that a long time ago had she known her father was truly alive. Even then, her father being a serial killer, that's still not sitting with her right. It's fighting through the killing emotion. Whether her father wants to be with her or not, that's one thing. But she will not and cannot be put in that state of mind where she wants to just brutally kill, even if it's not Sydney, Gale, and these people. She has a responsibility towards her sister, towards a life that she's trying to build now that all this has happened. And that can't start with being with her father yet. Billy just smiles, knowing that yet means that she will change her mind. And Sam knows it. And he says she will eventually come to see that Billy is right. And he will be back. And then he looks at Sydney and Gail and says he knows that he's not on their best radar, even after all these years. He also knows what he did back then to Maureen, to everybody, but he also knows that Sydney and Gail know a lot more than they did back then, have grown and improved since then, and have actually built something with their lives since then. He's no longer interested in hurting, kidnapping, killing, or doing anything with the likes of them. He's on his own. Whether his daughter wants to join him is on her behalf. But him, he's going to do him. He will return, but only when his daughter sees where she truly belongs. And with that, Billy leaves, leaving everyone perplexed and scared to know when, why, and just how the frick Billy Loomis is alive. That's the most shocking piece of all. But Sydney then just talks to all of them and says, while she doesn't respect Billy Loomis anymore, while he's still the most brutal killer aside from her half-brother Roman, she also knows that maybe since he actually lived, maybe that she feels just a little bit of remorse when she talks about Mrs. Loomis and that she almost died for nothing. All of what has happened is because maybe it's her fault, but also maybe this could lead towards something. Billy Loomis clearly isn't a bad guy anymore. If he was the guy he was back then, he would have killed them all right there. But clearly, he's a different man now. Sure, he wants Sam to be around to join him and be with the rightful family and kill, but she also knows that deep down, maybe Billy's just moved past the pain, moved past the hurt, moved past the past, and is finally different. Not good, but different. And everyone, they're thinking about this too. It's a lot to take in. So with this, Sam and Tara bid Sydney and Gail goodbye. And they go off to recover and wait for the day that Billy Loomis returns. So we enter Scream 6. What will happen in this movie? Will it lead towards Billy Loomis returning in a sick way? Will it just be a short cameo? And with Scream 7 still yet to happen, what will delve into the second part? Will it even be worth much in the end? And will Sam join Billy? Or has Billy made the biggest disappointing choice of his life by living in the first place? And that's where we leave things. Stay tuned for the finale and part 2. Hey guys, Nick here, and welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and the finale / part 2 to What If Billy Loomis Survived. Now, before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick, and further acknowledge and support the future of the Omniverse by checking out the Patreon, Discord, and both Google Docs on the homepage, as well as commenting future requests and expectations for this year. This is going to be a short finale and two-parter, but pretty much decided when I was making this to make it that way because Scream 5 opened up a lot, especially Billy Loomis surviving. So, with all that out of the way, let's get started. We ended off last time with Billy Loomis's survival and re-entrance into the Scream franchise, and him going away and waiting for the day that Sam makes the choice to join him and be with her essential family and embrace who she truly is, since she really hasn't yet. Billy got the kill on Richie. Sam didn't. So Scream 6 opens, and the entire movie goes almost exactly the same up until Richie's family are revealed to be the killers. But this time, Richie's dad, he's not after Sam. He's after Billy Loomis, the first ever and still living Ghostface killer. But they're all still mad at Sam because she did participate in the killing, and she is the daughter of Billy Loomis. So they all want her dead too. But they don't get the chance, because just then, a gunshot rings out and kills Quinn. And it's Billy. He's come back again, and not only to save his daughter, but to show that no Ghostface surpasses him. This gives Tara the chance to get her kill, and Sam to attack the officer, Richie's dad. Can't remember his name, Officer Bailey or whatever. And soon enough, he's down on the ground, inches away from death. So let's just say that Sam gets the stabs on him like she did in canon, or she would embrace the Scream 5 side and actually do more. Then again, it was kind of more epic in this movie, but still, you get my meaning. But it's not Sam who gets the kill. Once again, the kill that is done, specifically again like canon to his eye, is not by Sam, but by Billy. And this is deserved for Billy, especially considering the fact that Bailey and everybody were essentially mocking him. And he also heard about Gale and everything like that. This was personal. He then turns to Sam, who's truly embraced her side, and said that he would be back one day for her to embrace this side and join him and be with a family that she deserves. Even if it's just him, he doesn't care if Tara comes along. Him and Sam, that's the entire reason he strove to survive and be around. It was for this moment, right here, right now, Sam making the ultimate choice to live and embrace who she truly is. And Billy just smiles and says, he knows that she has. Now all that's left is for her to make the choice. And Sam, she decides she'll do it. She can see just what Sydney said. Billy Loomis is not the murderer that he was. If he truly wanted to kill Sydney, or didn't care about her or Tara or anything like that, he would have done so already. And joining him doesn't have any negative repercussions. All they have now is the killing of the right people. The people who stand in their way, the people who will harm them. It's no longer about Sydney or anything like that. Even though Gail's in critical condition, they pay her a visit with Billy Loomis around. And now Sam knows she's chosen the right family and the right side. And her and Tara have officially partnered and joined. Not only Sam being with her dad after pretty much never, but also truly bringing meaning to Billy Loomis's return. Now, on that note, Kirby is thinking that she should stop this, but even she knows that if Billy Loomis was truly evil, he would have killed her the second that he came in. So she decides to let it go and accept the fact that Sam is with her dad and that Sam and Tara are safe. being with someone that Sam is truly family with. And Tara, just the same. Just the same. And that's where we enter into Scream 7 and end the story. So to close off, Billy Loomis, his most logical place to reintroduce him in the story would be in Scream 5, or just called Scream, for the sake of Sam Carpenter being introduced. And whether Billy Loomis would go off with her in Scream 6 when he would again return is up for debate. And it's possible that he would just return again in Scream 7 to connect him more again with Sidney. But until Scream 7 comes out, there's no real explanation as to whether or not that could truly be the case, especially with everything and all the casting for Scream 7. So, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one on another big villain in the Scream franchise. Next one, don't know yet. All I know is my next project is the Saruman one-part analysis video, and then I'll be taking a break, as I've stated in the past few projects. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this two-parter on Billy Loomis, and I'll see you guys next time.